Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes.
Can we have the scrabble game?
No, not now. Bye. I'm
When
busy.
your live class is finished.
Yeah, when I finish, maybe. I didn't say I'm going to do that. So let's talk later.
When will your friends
Can you
join?
go? That's not your business. Can you go now? Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, thank you for joining. How have you been and how has been your day? I hope it has been fine. Okay, so I'm thinking I wait for like 2 minutes, a little bit more, so a little more people can join us. So while we wait, let's just enjoy this music. I hope you can hear the song. If you can hear it, please let me know. I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, you say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. If you can see me, if you can hear the music, please can you drop a comment so I can know I'm playing music for you to enjoy. The song has a purpose. The song has a purpose, so please let me know if you can hear the song. Okay, that's good. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I'll make no apologies. This is me. Okay, it seems like this one doesn't want to stay at the top. Very deep, very deep. I took time to listen to it, analyze it, and trust me, if you are struggling with your self-esteem, that's one of the best songs you should listen to. It's going to boost your confidence. Actually, music has a way of influencing you positively or negatively, depending on the song you're listening to. If you want to build your confidence, this song, Damnala, I see you. This song is a good song to listen to if you want to work on your confidence and self-esteem, because the society will always make it look like there's something wrong with you when actually you're perfectly fine. God made you complete, okay? Let me stop. Yeah. To the beat I drum. To be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Okay, let me stop here. Let me stop here. Don't let me take too much of your time. Okay, so good afternoon one more time. Thank you for joining, and I'm sure you're going to learn many things. I'll be sharing from experience and also from theory and practicals, everything joined together. So just pay attention, because what I'm going to talk about is something that is actually happening everywhere, and it's not just about mentorship. It reflects in your among your colleagues, either at school, in work, wherever. It reflects with your neighbor. It's basically everywhere. People are around you to use you. They're around you to take advantage of you, to see what they can get from you. Basically, that is why some people are there. Okay. So this afternoon, I'm going to share from my own mistakes, because personally, I'm a person who I trust very well. And when I trust you, and then also when I want to love you, I don't listen to naysayers, or I won't totally say naysayers. I won't listen to what people say. I would hold it, I would hold the information in one hand, but I won't use it to judge you. I hold it in one hand because it will guide me to also watch for the patterns, to watch for the red flags there and there. And going by my experience over the years, really, I shouldn't be someone who should still not have learned my lesson. But well, it happens. Okay, so a lot of people will come to you. Now, it may not even be for mentorship. It may even be just for friends. Let's be friends. Some of them may not even come out outrightly to say, let us be friends. But, sometimes these relationships happen in a way that you don't formally say, can I be friends with you? Can we be friends? That kind of thing. It happens. It just like it goes with the flow, and you find yourself being friends with someone. I have a friend. I've never seen her. She's on this broadcast. I have never set my eyes on her. And my promise is any day I step my feet in Nigeria, I don't care which state I touch the ground on, I must see her. Because over the years, she has proven herself over and over again. We have had a misunderstanding. We have had a fight. We've had a fight that we didn't talk for, I think, about 3 days, but we have not gone beyond 3 to 4 days maximum. But even with a fight, like, when you are angry with someone, but you're like, I'm only angry with what you have done, but I still love you, and I'm sorry if I've hurt you. And then when I call her to her BS, that's bullshit. She's like, okay, I'm sorry. And the sweet thing about it is that she takes correction. This is someone I'm older than, but I call her a friend, because a friend is not by age, and anyone can be my friend, really. I can be older than you with 20 years. If your level of maturity is at least to some extent up to mine, I don't see a reason why I can't call you a friend. So I don't judge you by your age, really. And the major thing that can block me from being your friend is if you don't want to grow. So if I sense that you don't want to grow, I shift. Grace, okay, let's be friends. I think I have your number, actually. Okay, I changed my number. Don't worry, I'll send you a message on WhatsApp. Okay, so as I was saying, you can be friends. Friends can start formally by let's be friends, and it can start informally, like on Facebook. Just as I was saying with this particular lady, how we met is so funny. And somehow, because obviously it is one thing that God wants us to be friends, it is also another thing for us to keep the relationship. You get, this happens also in the marriage. Some people will say, I prayed, I saw the will of God. A particular sect of Christian use that word, will of God, in marriage. They will say, I prayed and do this. God told me this. Yes, I'm not saying God did not, but the part of God is to reveal the right person to you. Your own part is to keep the relationship going. And how do you keep it going? Oiling the engine, servicing the engine. How do you service the engine? Be there for your spouse. Be their friend. Chat with them. Be there, like, just be there. Sometimes your spouse don't even need you to advise them. All they need you to do is to just listen. That's all. And this is both male and female. So that's what I'm saying. The topic of today actually is going to cut through all relationships. So it's not just about mentorship, but I want to speak from the angle of mentorship today, because that's actually where I chose to speak from. And it's still obviously going to touch other aspects of relationships. Okay, going by my experience, some of you know my story, how I fled from an abusive marriage, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is July. I was already back home. Between December 2018 and June 2019, I was not in my house. I was living in a refuge. A refuge is where women run to, either women or men. There's one for women, there's one for men. Of course, I went to the female one, where people who are abused run to. So I went there with my kids. Like I shared some times ago, I left only with 200 pounds. 200 pounds in Naira now I don't think it's up to 100,000 Naira. And going by how things are here, that's actually nothing. Like, even the government will tell you 200 pounds is not enough for someone who have kids for a week. But that was what I lived with for about 3 weeks. Thank God people came and helped me. So now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this background story in order for you to understand my story of where I'm going. So there's this lady I've known, I think, a year or two before. And when she came, obviously, I was still in my abusive marriage. I was going through stress. Some of you saw my picture earlier on. I don't know. I don't have it on this system. If not, I would have shown you right now again. But if you miss it, you can quickly go to my wall. You will see the latest post of me. You will see my face there. There's one picture I posted on my WhatsApp. Someone reposted it and they were like, no, this is not Ruth. This is not Unbreakable Ruth, because Ruth was black and I was plumpy. I was fat. I was fat and suffering. I'm not even as fat as I am then in that suffering. Okay, back to what I was the point I was driving at. So I met this lady then when I got to know her because they were organizing a program in their group and they needed a speaker and they invited me. So I spoke and that was how we started a relationship. Obviously not formal. And we became friends. And then, that's why one of the reasons I hate all this mama, I hate it. I don't know, a part of me cringes when I hear it because it's, to me, I know it's not all. I know some people really mean it and they care for you for real. But somehow the larger part is under hypocrisy. Like many of them just want to snitch on you. They want to feed off you. They want to frustrate you and get everything they can get as fast as they can and use you, then dump you. So really, I'm not in for social media praise. I'm not. Even normal praise, I'm not. I praise myself. That's why sometimes I'll go to my mirror and tell myself, babe, you are beautiful. So there is really nothing new people will tell me that I've not told myself. I'm still looking for it, really, except it's something I'm not aware of. And the only person I think has done that, it happens to be my coach, that she has told me, like, Ruth, you don't know the genius in you. That's why you're limiting yourself. And so far, I know myself to an extent that I praise myself. So there's really nothing, there's no praise you want to give me that's going to be new. But that period when she came in, of course, it's not like I wasn't aware of my beauty, but I wasn't confident of myself because at that time, I was not even posting my pictures. My face was looking ugly. It was dry, very dark. If you look at the picture I posted earlier today, you will notice that my neck side was lighter than my face. That's a sign of stress. That's why I would always tell you, please, even if it's your marriage, once it is marriage, once abuse is there. And when I'm talking about abuse, listen to my last live class on this page with Onuora and Victor Ibe. Go and listen to it. I'm sure you will understand more. Abuse tells on you everything about you. You see this bro, all of you are jealousy. There was a time the bro was off. Like, I practically only painted to make it look real. The hair there was chopping off. My this one too, lashes was chopping off. My skin was dry. It was very itchy and I was black. My lip happens to be the only place I managed to still remain pink. Every other part of my face was gone. My hair was chopping off. And it's not because I wasn't taking care of them. Funny enough, I was taking care of the hair then compared to now. Now I don't even have time for the hair like I used to. But the way the hair was chopping off then compared to now was no. So in the bottom line is abuse kills you from inside. It affects you. It don't say it's not beating you. Beating is a last resort. It's usually the last. They start with emotional manipulation. They start with verbal abuse. And then it graduates little by little, financial control. And then before it blows out to become a physical abuse. So once you sense financial, emotional, verbal abuse, trust me, you are in for a shock because that person is not going to change. Okay, I digress. Let me go back to my point. Let me see your comments, please, if you are with me. I want to see your comments. Thank you. So this lady, she came when I was still in my abusive marriage. So one day she went for a wedding. Some people may know her here, really. With this description I'm giving, they are likely going to know her. And I'm not going to mention them. It's up to you to speculate. So she went for a wedding and she misplaced her phone. I had an iPhone, I think I have a 4S I was using for my business. And I had another one, of course. I had about 2 phones. So, but when she came, like someone told me she doesn't have a phone again, blah, blah, blah. She has misplaced it. I gave her that iPhone 4S, even though the screen got cracked a little bit, but it was still very much useful. It's something that I'm sure you would have used for close to a year. At least my intention was it's going to save her time to buy a new phone, really, not for her to use it for too long. So I gave her phone, clothes, shoes, sent it to her. Meanwhile, prior to that, she has so many sob stories, so many. If it is not her school today, it is her leg tomorrow, is her health next month, or her mom, or there will be someone, something, somewhere that she's going to bring up. And me, being an empath who cares a lot, I'm learning. That's why right now, presently, I'm not accepting friends on my profile. And it's not because I don't want to have friends, but because, really, I'm like, I have a page. Come and follow me here. Let's chat here. Let's talk here. I post here as well. I even now my live classes are always here. I rarely do it on the one I do on my page is just more like a time wasting stuff. So basically, it continued this way. And when I got to the refuge, like I said last year, this lady came, and she's aware of my story. She's aware of my journey. She's aware of She's aware of how I fled and how I was managing financially. But this lady will still come with a story. Mama, in school, there's this. I remember even sending her 10,000 at some point for her school. Something was going on in school. She needed money. I sent it to her. Her mom sent her money. You know, at some point, it was not feeling like as if I was being duped, unknown to me. Because one day I sat there, I was like, wait. Is this girl using jazz on me? Because I don't think I have sent this much money to my father within that space of time that I'm sending money to her. And you know, the annoying part is each time I now correct her that, babe, you are showing a narcissistic trait, she will start crying. Oh no, ma. And then she will say, oh, let me go and seek the face of God. Then she will claim to go offline on WhatsApp. Meanwhile, she's still offline or online. She only doesn't post on status. Then I started studying her. I didn't unfriend her so fast. I think it was just last week I actually unfriended on Facebook and removed her on my WhatsApp. Prior to that, I would give her money. She would call me. I would counsel her. And then she will come, Mama, asking me some very personal questions. Sometimes it's about relationships. She's like, I'm like, me that just came out from a one-chance wedding, marriage. Are you thinking the next step for me is to jump into another one, or first of all recover and be fine? She will not be telling me, are you not afraid to love again? I'm like, Auntie, what gong is the problem? So one day she was like, she's afraid that love, she's afraid of love. She shall put all the cock and bull story together. And I was like, first of all, as for me, marriage is not my priority right now. But then, definitely I will still remarry. But right now, that's not my priority. So I was like, she was like, for you to be able to say it, you are strong. I was like, calm down. And then I noticed a trait about her. She is very needy. She is always very needy. These are signs of those who will come into your life to snitch on you. They will always come with something that is going wrong with them, even on your dying bed. There was a day I was crying because I had just finished reading one of the old chats where I saw how I was being controlled. And of course, it brought up some emotions and I wasn't happy. I was angry. I started crying. And this girl started chatting me. Like, I think she was stranded in school, or I think she needed to pay for something. And I had to send a voice note. In my voice note, you can tell that this person talking is crying. She actually did acknowledge it, that, Mama, are you crying? I was like, yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not in a good mood. She didn't even bother to ask me, what is the matter? And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was only coming to tell you about what is going on in my school. And she just went straight to her story. And you know the funny part? I sent her money. And this continued. It continued. She would come with one story or the other. There will always be something. If she's not sick, someone in her family is sick, or someone in her family needs help, or something about her school has issues, or something about her business. Then later on, it's continued like that. Then I think December or early this year, she was like, oh, she would like to, I think it's early this year. Simon, you finished all the bananas in this house.
Oh my.
So please don't bring another one after this one. Oh my goodness. Oh God. Okay. Sorry, apologies about the interruption. Enjoy the interruption with me. Okay, so where was I? This one made me to miss it. Okay, I was talking about the business, and yeah, she came. She was like, oh, please, ma, can you send me some goods? I can help you sell them, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, Auntie, my goods are not cheap. I see the things you advertise. There are items of about 3,000, 4,000. I don't think she has advertised more than 5,000 naira. But I know my market. I know what I sell is expensive for some people. So, and it's not because it's expensive for them. It's just like it's not within their budget. It's not something like more like it's at that stage of life. It's not something they can afford. Our audience are not the kind of people I feel would be ready to part with 20K, 30K, 50K, 500K because those are the kind of things I sell as a personal shopper. Okay, she was sharp pestering me, Mama, please now help me, blah, blah, blah. In fact, at some point I was like, okay, you know what, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to try and get goods within the range of the price you do. This is something I don't do. Like the last time I did all this kind of scavenging for very affordable items like that was when I just started this business. I still do sometimes depending on the bulkiness of your order. So when she came with this, please, 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 I decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. The day I was to make that order, actually, I was to make an order in Naira that I had the money of about, I think, 150K to let's go. But something inside of me said, Auntie, calm down, dear. If you don't want to come back to cry, calm down, dear. Reduce it to 30,000 Naira. So I just thought, oh, that's true. And I reduced it. In pounds, I had about 150 pounds. And from 150 pounds, I reduced it to 30 pounds. So I got these items. Meanwhile, before I paid, I told her that, okay, if I'm buying this is the amount I'm going to be selling them for. And the prices, I was lucky to get items as affordable as I think 6,000 Naira for her. And she was like, yes, I can sell it. I'm 100% sure. Yes, please, please, please. Okay. I used my money. I bought the goods. Even added gift for her, new clothes. There's a particular dress I bought that I realized when I got to me runs in a small size. I gave her the dress. I even added gifts. I sent it to her. Do you know that up until I started sending someone to harass this girl, not like I even sent the person, I basically complained to the person that look at the way this girl is doing. She will not advertise this good either on WhatsApp or Facebook, but she can go on her WhatsApp to show off the clothes she just got. How she got the clothes, sincerely, I don't want to care, but I know that definitely, although I later discovered that I'm not the only person she's snitching on. There are loads of people. She's in different WhatsApp group and Facebook group where she comes with her soft stories and tell them, oh, this is what I'm going through. This is what is happening. And we are stranded. Like, she just likes to feel she's stranded and feel helpless. And the truth is, the most helpless person usually have a choice. They usually do have a choice. But once they sense that they can use you, they will choose the choice of using you. Because she could have decided to start working for someone or monetize the little knowledge she has about her course and start getting something to help herself. But instead of doing that, she would rather carry sub stories of somebody sick, she herself not feeling well or school or whatever, and use it as a means to siphon money from people in different WhatsApp group. Meanwhile, someone had called me, someone who used to be in a group with her. I don't know if they're still in the same group now, but the lady sent someone to me and told me that I should be very careful of this girl, that what she does is she will cock and bull stories. Sometimes they're usually true, but she will use them. I mean, the stories are usually true, not like she's lying about the story, but there's a way she would sound that even if you don't want to pity her, you will be forced to pity her. And you'll be forced to give her the money or whatever help she's coming to you for. So I still had that at the back of my mind, but being who I am, I like to give people a lot of chances to, prove themselves. Maybe the person that told you that story is lying or so. Like, I just like to give that chance, and that was what I did. So I gave her that chance to prove herself, prove the person wrong. But of course, she proved the person right. And then I noticed that my business, I wasn't hearing anything. And then later on, she was like, the reason she's not advertising is because of COVID, that she prefers to sell it offline. And I was like, this same COVID, though, in this same COVID, all of us are in. People are doing business and they are getting billions. In this same COVID, even me, despite the fact that I'm not able to ship at that period, I was still getting income. I was like, people will not buy what they don't know. And this is the same person who came to me and was like, please, ma, I will do it. Please, ma, I will do everything. Then suddenly she started finding an excuse. Let me tell you some of the traits of this kind of people. They are usually very lazy. They are lazy mentally and they are lazy to work. Even if they start to work, they will always find a problem with that job because they will rather stay and feed on you than go and work to get their money. This girl asks different people, there's always somebody dashing her clothes, there's always someone dashing her shoes, there's always someone dashing her bag. If it's a lie, I don't know if it's true, I don't know, but I know that I'm part of those who once dashed her clothes and shoes. I didn't give her bag. So really, these are the traits of these people. They will come to you claiming they want you to be their mentor. I think it's finished. Go and check the kitchen. Okay, go and eat it. That's it. They'll come to you saying they want you to be their mentor, but actually what they want to be in your life is a snitch. They want to eat you dry. They want to suck your blood dry. They want to finish everything good about you. And the more you give them chance, the more they will snitch. And you know the funny part, if you are an empath and you have not learned to build yourself emotionally to a point where you make a decision without you not allowing your emotions to guide you, you always fall prey of these people, either as friends or as husband or wife or colleagues at work, because they have a tactic, and that tactic is to play on your emotion. So I learned, it didn't pain me really, because as soon as I told her, I think late last year, I was like, hello, baby, I get to a point where I will block you and I will not regret it. I once blocked her on all my platforms, but I thought, okay, let me give her one more chance. I unblocked her, allowed her back in my circle, and then she continued as siphoning. But of course, it didn't work around this time around, aside for the business that I thought I was going to help her to get up and start doing something to help herself financially. Actually, that was the goal. The goal was to make her to stop begging for money, stop begging people for things, stop crying foul around, saying that she doesn't have something. So basically, that was the reason I helped with the business to help her start up. You know, if she had done this particular item properly, the truth is by now, I'm sure she would have been cashing out even more because I would have invested more in that business, really. It's something I would have loved because, of course, I will still gain as well, even while she's gaining. But, of course, she blew it. She spoiled it. So why am I saying this? These people are usually very smart. But their smartness, actually, the right word is they are cunning. They have a way to penetrate into your heart. They have a way, they take time to study you. When they notice you are very nice and kind, they will come close to you as a friend. They will not come like, let me be your friend sometimes. Sometimes they will not even do it formally. Sometimes it's going to be formal. Sometimes it will come like, please come and teach me. Sometimes it will come like, I'm inviting, just like in my own case, I'm inviting you to a program. And from there, she came back to say thank you, and that was how the conversation started. So why am I saying this? Be very careful. And peradventure, you are that kind of person. Why not check yourself? I have a book. It's called the Relationship Evaluation Workbook. It's just for 1,500 naira only. I have questions in that book that can help you to analyze yourself, to know if you are okay and if those around you. Is a relationship evaluation workbook. There are questions in it that is going to help you to ask, to know if this person is okay to be in my circle. And if it is someone you're dating, you're going to know if this is someone you should keep dating. If it's marriage, my dear, I'm not going to mince word. If you're in a marriage where manipulation is the top of the whole thing you do, where you are being manipulated to do things you don't want to do, you say you don't want to have sex and someone is making you to do what you don't want to do against your wish, or you are working and you don't have access to your money, or maybe you have access to it but it is a certain portion, or maybe you even have access to it but they are telling you can't touch it without their permission. These are signs of manipulation. Or they come to you like, let's say for example, you are like, I'm done with this relationship, I don't want to do again, and then they will come with something that happened to someone that happens to be close to them. Maybe let's say it could be my mom. I should have told you this, but because we're having issue, my mom has not been feeling well. And of course, because you're an empath, you're going to fall for it. And out of I want to care for your mom, you'll find out that your relationship is resuming back. The minute your instincts, no, Daniel, and don't disturb me again. I told you to stop disturbing me. Bye. Go upstairs. As I was saying, and the minute your instinct gives you unrest about a person, don't wait to find out. This particular lady would go about sobbing different people who I know had likely helped her at some point. She would make different posts to laugh at them. I'm sure she's doing the same thing to me, but I don't care. Like, she doesn't feed me. I didn't even remember she's existing until today. I just thought, let me talk about this. Because to be candid, these people know how to get into your mind. They know how to penetrate into your thoughts. They know how to penetrate into your emotion. And if you are the kind of person that wears your emotions on your sleeves, you are going to be a very good prey for them. You are going to be the fastest person they are going to get. So if you don't want to be a prey, if you don't want to fall victim of these people, the best thing to do is to learn to watch your emotions, emotional intelligence, study yourself. What triggers your anger? What makes you unhappy? What makes you lose control over your care? And guard against it, because usually it comes like care. It comes in form of care. I care for you. I care for your mom. I care for your family. And then you start getting yourself entangled in these relationships that you should never have kept close in the first place. So watch your circles. Get this book. It's just for 1,500 naira only. I think that's £5. Not £5 for those in the UK. You can get it. I have loads of questions inside to help you analyze yourself. Probably you're actually the one who is being manipulative, and you don't know, because sometimes you can be manipulative and not know. You can be and not know. And the reason you don't know is because your upbringing, the environment you found yourself in, is seen as normal. There's no big deal about it in that environment. But until you come out of a situation, you won't know how rotten the place you are is. Until you leave an environment, you won't know how bad the place you are has been. So really, you may not even know you are being manipulative. You may not even know you have all this narcissistic traits, psychopathic traits in you. You may not know, but it is still, there's still enough time for you to know now. How can you know? Get a book. When you get a question, try and be sincere when answering a question. Write them out, analyze it. And if peradventure you realize you will need help, I'm here. I will help you, but of course at a fee. I would help you. I have a paid group in case you are thinking, oh, 1 hour is too small and you can't afford more than 10,000 for 1 hour with me. 30 minutes with me. Go for my paid group. I have a WhatsApp group, 5,000 naira monthly, £10 monthly. It's based on subscription. You can join me and join us in the group. This Saturday, we'll be having a class on finances. In fact, people in the group don't know what is coming on their way. I told them to do something today. I was like, yesterday or 2 days ago, I was like, all of you, share with me your streams of income. All of them were listing it. In their mind, they have plenty streams of income, but I'm going to bust their bubbles tomorrow. And these are part of the things I share in that group. It's just for, don't always be conservative when it comes to you, because you are the one. It is from you. You see that house you want to buy, it is from you it comes. That car you want to have, that bag. In fact, I would say never spend on properties, on bags, on all these things, the amount you have not spent on yourself. If you have not spent it on your personal development, I understand that this language, personal development, is alien to many of us, especially if you are in some part of Africa. It's alien, sort of like, what's this, what's that? But let me tell you the truth. You produce what you get. The life you want, you produce it. And if your level of understanding is at the level of 10,000 naira monthly as a big money, then that's where you will remain. Meanwhile, there's that capacity in you to birth more, to run in millions. But because you have not even gotten to their awareness, it is something you are aware of, that you will now say, okay, let me now pursue this dream, this goal. So how would you know then if you are in an environment that is not conducive for you? Get the books. Get the book I mentioned. I have another book, Value Code. Get that one as well. Get that one as well. I have a book I wrote. It's free. Self-esteem. How to silence the inner critic. Is on self-esteem. It's currently free. You can just subscribe to my mailing list and you get it. Because the reason I said it's currently free is because it's going to go off being free and become a paid product very soon. So you want to get it now before it goes off. And the reason why many people are manipulative is because they lack confidence in themselves. They don't even believe that they are they are even important to themselves. They don't even see their own value. They are blind to their values. This particular lady actually bought one of my books, although the buying was after someone harassed her to like, you like to collect money from this lady, but you have never supported her by buying from her. That was why she bought. And I'm 100% sure she didn't read the book. Because if she read the book, genuinely, it is one thing to read, it is another thing to read and take in the lessons. So she may just have scanned through in order to give me a review so that I can feel good. You understand? But in her heart, she knows she didn't read, because I know if you do something, I will know. And it's not a matter of Holy Spirit telling me something. No. It is from the actions, the words that come out from your mouth after the thing. That's when I will know that you didn't read or you read. So in this case, I'm bold to say that she may have read it, like thought through, or she may have actually read it but not taking it to heart. So it is one thing to buy a book, it is one thing to buy a course, it is one thing to go for coaching, and it is one thing for you to take in the knowledge, let it sink into yourself. That's why presently for my coaching, especially the one-on-ones, I've started sending out forms. Your answers in the forms will determine if we can work together. Because I want a result. I want results. I want you to be better. I want you to be a better person compared to when you came to me for coaching. And so if at the end of the day you say you want me to coach you, and at the end of the day I just feel like I'm pouring water into a basket, it's not worth it. So as much as I want the money, I desire, I need the result, because it is from the results that's when I get more fulfillment. So really invest in yourself. Don't stop being stingy to yourself. The future you will be grateful if you take this step today. The future you will be happy you took this step, because you don't know how much more is inside of you. You can as well join my free Telegram group, although it's for females only. The other group as well, that is a paid group, is also for female only. You can join either of the two groups. I think the link is it's in the bio on my Facebook here. You can just check. So bottom line is, if you're an empath, you are prone to being attracted to all these manipulative people, because they will see you because you are going to be a very caring person. You'll be very kind, you'll be very caring, and you will, like, when they say care, you will care for real. When you love someone, your kind of person will love the person for real. You won't mince word. When you say you want to do something, you will do it. And because they know you, somehow there's this psyche about them that makes them sense you. Some of them will call, even the Christian ones among them will say it's the Holy Spirit that led me to you. When it's actually is a lie, it's not Holy Spirit, it is just it is just the selfishness in them that led them to you. And you not being sensitive, you will fall. You will think that yes, this person wants to learn from you. Maybe they came to you as a mentor. That's why if you want me to be your mentor, go and pay for that 5,000 naira group. Then we can start from there. Let's make it official. Then that's part of the reasons I have not been adding people on my profile. It's not because I don't want friends again. It's not because I don't want to build new relationships, but I'm like, let's talk here first. Because on a page, there's this formality with the tone. There's a difference compared to profile. So by the time we now talk on the page and we announce that, okay, we can be closer, then we can now shift to profile. So really, it is up to you to protect you. It is no one's job to protect you. It is up to you to protect you. And when you're protecting yourself, this protection comes from inside. You protect yourself, building boundaries, healthy boundaries. You know when to walk away. You know when to let go of a relationship. You know when to cut someone off. You know when to let go. It's not because you have not tried, but because you see that your trying is never going to be enough. Because for this kind of people, no matter what you do, no matter how you invest in them, it still won't be enough. Because tomorrow they will come with another story, making you forget the ones you have done in the past. I do hope that this is... If you're getting value, please drop a comment. Encourage me, okay? If you're getting value so far, drop a comment. I want to see your comment. But I will tell you this, for you to be able to protect yourself from all these kind of people, you need that thing called emotional intelligence. You need to guide yourself, and you need to know when to let go without feeling guilty. There's a tendency to feel guilty when you want to end a relationship. It's normal, especially when it's a relationship that somehow you have invested. In fact, there's really a relationship from an elder person that they have not invested in. Even the manipulative ones, they have invested a little bit, at least their time. They may not have invested much, but something about them has been invested. So for you to now say, I want to cut this relationship, really, it's going to be, there's going to be some kind of guilt. There's going to be some kind of guilt, but it is up to you to silence the guilt. There are some guilt that, let me say, they are not heavenly. There are some guilt that are not, that you shouldn't acknowledge. The way they are coming, bounce it back like football. Because if you allow them to stay on your mind, you will be guilt tripped into allowing these relationships to stay. And in the long run, they are going to keep hurting you. Stop disturbing me. Bye. Bye-bye.
Cake.
No, don't take it. Okay, back to what I was saying. So you need to build yourself to a level where you will care for people, but not at your detriment. You will care about how people feel, but you will understand you come first. That quote, that Bible verse that says, love your neighbor as yourself, you will come to understand it more, because it is from the abundance of love you are showing yourself, you can show someone else. If you have love, see, love has two sides. Love is like a sword. Love will draw close and love will push away. Love will draw someone close to you. It will make you draw someone close to you. And love will also make you push someone away. The love that is making you push someone away is you protecting yourself, because you love yourself, you love your health, you love your sanity, you love your mind. The love that will make you hold someone close is because the person is good to you and the person is not hurting you. See, someone can be your friend and you may not necessarily get some benefits from them. But as far as they are not hurting you and taking away from you and dividing you, then they are still okay to keep, because there will be a time you will need them. But once a friend is not adding to you, but they are taking away from you, leaving you depleted, then you should let go. And even if it's a relationship, stop. Dating period is a period where you collect data about a person. You don't go to the market to want to buy a shoe and you saw the exact shoe, but it's not your size. And say, okay, I'll manage. Let's say you are using a size 42. You now see a size 38. You now say, because it's the same design. Don't worry, woman, that I say, I'll manage it. I'll manage it. Bring it. Thank you. Bye. Can you go now? Take your money. You won't do that. So why are you doing that to your relationships? Why are you doing that to marriage? Not just because of what the society is saying. The society should not determine how your life should be. Determine how your life would be. Let me tell you something. When you choose your path, even if the society, the world does not want to accept when you first start, by the time you keep to it, they will come around. They will come around to accept it. And they will even not just accept, they will believe it to be the truth. But until you stand up to that level where you don't care how they would backstab you, mock you, laugh at you. Like I said in the group I coach, I told them today, I said, many of them are afraid of fear. I told them, I said, the reason you are afraid of fear is because you are so attached to your success. You don't want to fail. You don't want to have a failed relationship. Hence, you are holding on to it even when it is cutting you and killing you. You don't want to let go. You don't want the society to say, how many boyfriends do you go get safe? You don't want the society to say, you're just living from one husband's house to the other. Let me tell you something. You are the one to determine how the world should see you. It is how you present yourself to the world. Even when Jesus came, Jesus needed to introduce himself to the world, for the world. Even at that, the world, even today, we all know that not everybody wants to hear the name Jesus. So why are you after the world liking you? Why are you after what people will say? Why are you after what people are thinking? Why are you letting what people are thinking hold you back from being who you want to be. Many of you, the life you really want to live, you are holding yourself back because of what people will say. Not because it is a sin, not because it is bad. It is actually a good life. It is actually something worth living. But because you have so handicapped yourself and you have remained in that invisible glass, you remain there by yourself. Nobody puts you there. You put yourself there. And then you're not blaming the society. Like, does the society even care if you're alive? Why are you not bothered about them? Why are you bothered about what they are thinking or going to say? Some of you have great dreams, visions, but you are saying, what will people say? Or what will my church people say? Then you're disturbing, and I told you not to come and disturb me again. Bye. You have held yourself back. You have refused to move because of what people will say. Some of you, it's even money. It's not even what people will say. You are letting your bank account determine the decision you. Let me tell you something. I've always said this: money follows decision. If you don't make a decision, you won't get the money. Let me give a typical example about myself. Last month, no, I think it's last month. Yeah, late last month into early this month. I was able to, some people gave me money that was almost ₦1 million, and I used part of it to make a deposit for a coaching session I've always wanted to do. The coaching session is about $3,000, and when I paid my balance in pounds, because I can't remember the amount in dollars now, but I think the balance should be around 1,005 something or thereabouts for the balance I'm meant to pay. But luckily, there was a 10% discount, which made the fee reduce a little bit for me, but I still had to pay the balance. So now, when I pay this £1,000, my total is meant to be 2,002 something. I paid £1,000, so my balance is meant to be 1,002 something in pounds. I spoke to the coordinator. I said, see, can you give me time to pay? And she was like, okay, can I be specific? When do you want to pay? I was like, okay, I'll pay at the end of August. I'm going to pay. Going by my reality, let me be frank with you. That's the 1,002 plus is actually about seven and something thousand naira. To be candid, I don't have the money anywhere. The day when I was chatting with the lady, I only had about 200 I saved somewhere for those kind of things. And she was like, no, I don't want you to think about it, contemplate about the sinking of things, contemplate the floating of things, that it is possible to get the money. And she was like, okay, instead of the end of August, I'm going to give you till the 3rd of August. As I speak to you, the only balance I need to pay, I need now to be able to pay is just £145. I have £1,100 already. And this is just between 2 weeks and I think maybe 3 or 4 days. That is. And the reason I'm able to get this money is not because money fell on me, but because I took the decision. I took the challenge. When she said, you can raise it. It will sound like motivation speaking, whatever. But let me tell you something. If you have not allowed a belief to sink into your mind, if you don't let it sink, if you don't welcome the idea, there's no way your brain is going to tell you how to raise the money. So when she told me that you can get the money, I didn't doubt it. I believed I can. I welcomed the idea that I can raise this money. How I will raise it, I don't know. But I was like, I believe I will. And you know one thing that happened? Things started falling in places. Others started coming in for my personal shopping. People started paying for my coaching sessions. As of last night, I got a coaching session paid of about over 75,000 naira, which I added to the money. And that's why I've been able to raise the money. So why am I telling you this? Money follows decision. If you don't decide that I want this thing, you won't get it. Decide first and start thinking about it. Meditate on it. Let's say for example, your dream is you want to have the latest iPhone. And going by your account, let's be sincere with ourselves. You can only afford one small Nokia somewhere. You know, those very cheap phone. Meanwhile, iPhone is almost ₦1 million. And the phone that your account can buy is just about 50,000 naira. But really, in your heart of heart, you want that iPhone. That is what everything about you wants. Now, the first thing to do is to believe you can get a phone. It is not to think of how do I get the money. It is first to believe that I can afford this phone. How you will. Don't bother about how you are going to get the money. First, welcome the idea. Welcome it that, okay, I can get this phone. Then after you have allowed this sink into your subconscious and you dwell on it, I give it 2 to 3 days. You will start seeing ideas of things you can create, things you can do. If it's to go and get a job to get the money, it's going to be legit. Don't worry, you're not going to commit a crime to get the money. But I tell you, if you will put in, another mistake a lot of people make is when this idea comes, they see it as a silly idea and they dump it. And that's the same way the person that made iPhone, that's the same way they started. The idea came as a silly idea. But the difference between this person and you that you are dropping the idea is that they welcomed the idea and they started the practice. Of course, there were mistakes along the way. They made their mistake. And when they make the mistake, which is failure that many of you are afraid of, they're like, okay, this didn't work this way. Let me try another means. And they start all over again. That is how it works. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be so attached to your success that you don't want to even allow yourself to fail, because actually what you call failure is growth. What you call failure, because really, when God made man, he made everything, he made us good. So if you're saying you're a failure, you're telling God that he's a failure. That's an insult to God. You're saying God is a failure. If you believe you are a failure, that's what you insulting God, that he is a failure, when actually you are the one who have refused to move. Can you get me a scissors? You are the one who has refused to move. And if you don't move, you won't get the value you want. The life you want will only remain in your dreams if you don't take action. So if you want your life to be better, if you want things to improve for you, hold on, Daniel. I'm trying to see if I can use my hand. Believe in your dreams. That idea that drops in your mind that sounds silly, write it down somewhere. Don't look at it like it's not useful. It's not something that can serve me. There are many ideas I've written down. I have some of them that I wrote down some years ago that are now real for me now. And I have some I'm writing presently. I don't even know when it will be a reality, but I didn't let it go. I wrote it down. I pursue my dream. The minute it falls on me and I see the urgency, I go for it. If it's something that needs time, I give it the time. And when I make my mistake, I hold it with my chest. I'm not ashamed to say I failed at some point. I'm not ashamed to say I made some mistakes. I'm not ashamed. It's just a fragment of my story. It's still like it's a journey. You don't know my story. Like, we've not finished writing this story now. We are still writing. I'm the one in charge of the chapters. I write it the way I want. Now it depends on how I think, the thoughts I allow in my mind, and how I process it and allow them to sink in, and how I take action thereafter. It is one thing to think and assume, and imagine and fantasize about a particular thing you want. It is another thing for you to take steps. What steps have you taken to be the person you want to be? You want to move from here to there. You want a life. Some of you, actually what you would love is to live in a duplex with beautiful garden, flowers, a car, going on holiday with your family once or twice a year. But presently, you're living in one room. Now, it's not a crime to live in one room. The crime is to remain in one room, especially compared to your dream. That's where the crime is. Remaining in that one room in the next 10 years is where the problem is, because you are meant to grow. There are stages in life. It's not a crime to be where you are now. The only crime is for you to remain where you are. And for you to live where you are to where you want to be, it takes effort. It takes investment. Sometimes I had to skip meals for the life I want. It's an investment for me. It's already yielding, but the yielding I'm getting now is not still what I want. Hence, I'm investing back. I'm going for different courses. It's not easy on me. Sometimes if I want to read with my kids, of course, because I'm a kind of person that don't like noise when I'm reading. Assuming I'm okay with reading with noise, I would have read while they are playing. But because it doesn't work for me that way, I have to wait for them to go to bed, which means I may not sleep up until 12, 1, 2 midnight. That's me investing in myself. Because if you say you want to stand before kings and not mean men, then you need to invest in yourself. The Bible says, seek understanding. I mean, seek wisdom, and in all that get understanding. A version says, invest in understanding. How much has it cost you to be a better you? Then when they say go for coaching, you're like, I don't have a problem. You don't even know if you have a problem first. It takes someone else to tell you there's a problem. And most time, the reason you're still thinking you don't need coaching is because you have not seen the gravity of the conditioning you have experienced growing up as a child. There are loads of things that are okay, that are not bad, but we have been conditioned to think it is bad. Like saying you want a luxurious lifestyle. In some particular sect, they will tell you that's worldliness. But nothing stops you from having a luxurious life and still be a Christian and still make heaven at the end of the day. But in some sects, we've been told that is worldliness. That's the conditioning I'm talking about. Some of you, the real life you want, you can't live it because of the environment you find yourself. And the truth is, you will not have the confidence to start living that life without the help of someone to push you. And that is where a coach comes in. So it is not when you think, you can't even know if you have a problem. The only time you will suspect you have a problem is like these examples I gave, like you want a particular life, but you can't have it. Some people, they actually would love to be wearing trousers. But because of their conditioning, they feel they have been conditioned to think is a sin. Hence, they won't, but in their hearts, they want it. Every part of them, every part of their being wants them to wear that trousers. Some you want to be wearing jewelry, you want to wear earring, but because you have been told that is a sin, to take it to hell, blah blah blah, and then you just take it. You didn't even take time to question it. That okay, attachment, Abi, are you not attaching your clothes? Okay, let's say okay, Bible says we should wear our clothes. Did your Bible say you should use body cream? Because there are so many things that we have so accepted that we refuse to question, all just because of our condition and how we have, our condition, how beliefs are formed. It's formed from spaced repetition. When something is being repeated in your ear, even if you don't want to believe it in the first instance, the more you hear it, the more it starts building strongholds in your mind. Then it becomes a belief that even if someone is coming and telling you this thing you are believing is wrong, you will kick against the person and call them names. You will even call them backslider if it is something that you feel is against the belief of your sect. And that's how conditioning works. When you keep hearing something, it forms a belief in you. That's where some people will say they have a conviction about something, when actually it is just formed by spaced repetition, because you keep hearing your pastor saying it, you keep hearing your mommy saying it, you keep hearing your daddy saying it. And when you hear pastor in church, mommy at home, daddy at home, teacher in school, they are saying almost the same thing that is forming roots inside of you. So to uproot that thing, it will take time as well. And that's where you need someone to help you. So don't see going for a coach or someone coaching you as if you have problem with your mental health. There are some problems that are not physical. And many times these things are actually what is holding you back from getting to your full potential. And that's one of the things that is holding you back from being who you ought to be. Many people will get to heaven and they will realize that they didn't even do half of what God has told them to do on it. For me, I'm gonna die empty. Every gift of God in me will find expression. I don't know about you. If that is your own case as well, write it. Every gift of God in me will find expression. Nothing that God has put in me. I have many talents. I know. I can sing. I can act. Every gift of God in me will find expression. Now, when they will find expression, I don't know how soon, but this is part of it. Me teaching. It's part of the expression of God's gift in me. What are your gifts? What are the things you love to do that you can do? If you don't hit, you are fine. You can keep going and going and going. That's part of the ways to even know your purpose. Now we are going into purpose. Some of you think to get to know what your purpose is, you have to go and search, and then you say, I found it. No, your purpose actually have not been lost. You know the funny part? Your purpose at each point in your life always shows. The things that fascinate you, things you can do without being paid, things you can do Even if they say you're not going to sleep for the next 3 days, you are like, I will do it. You will happily do it. It gives you joy. It gives you fulfillment. Those are the pointers to your purpose. And sometimes some experiences in life are pointing you to it. It does not necessarily mean it is your purpose. That you do something may not necessarily mean is your purpose. It may just be an avenue to build your muscle in order to fulfill your purpose. Anyways, I believe I've been able to share a lot today. I'm sure I've given loads of value. Share this on your walls. Let your friends learn from this. Let them get the value you have gotten. I'm sure the many people need this. Please share it on your wall. And I believe that this has brought up a trigger in you. I'm sure you would come to realize that having a coach is not about having problems with your mental health, going to see a counselor and all those kind of things. It's actually to excavate and bring out the gold that is in you. Many people are carrying gold mines, but they are not even aware. They are going about begging. Like the lady I talked about, she has loads of potentials, but she would rather go and be begging. And that's because she has even lost a sense of herself. Because if you have not lost a sense of yourself, you would not be begging people. That even if you would meet people for help, it will be with dignity. There are some people today that if I go and meet them, that, oh, please, can you borrow me 1 million naira? I'm sure they will give me because they know that, no, this one is not because she wants to waste it. It's because it is for an investment that I know she will get the money back. That is what it means. Know your value. What is your value? What defines you as a person? When you know all these things, it protects you. It serves as a bulletproof around you. And then you don't easily get swayed by unnecessary soothsaying talks that people will just come and just cook up one cock and bull story. This lady never knew that I knew about this about her, but I gave her a chance. And then when I even gave her a chance and I discovered that, okay, she's getting too much from me, I still gave, not because I didn't want to, I couldn't have stopped, but because I was hoping maybe I can influence her to change. But when I discovered that she doesn't want to change, she just wants someone to be eating from, feeding off from, and I was like, okay, I get your message. So I didn't even unfriend her instantly. I basically only I started reducing the help I give her drastically. She would come with one story and I'm like, hey, yeah, I pray God will provide. That's how I end it. I stopped giving her money, and then from there I just ended the relationship. So basically, for you to know all these things, you need to be grounded in yourself. You need to know who you are, your value, and work on your emotions and protect yourself. Set up healthy boundaries. The minute you sense that someone is doing something that is dangerous to you, take a walk. You can try to correct them because some of them may do it ignorantly. But after you have corrected once, twice, three, in fact, the minute it's getting to the third one, just take a walk. Don't bother talking because it doesn't make a sense. Someone that would change would have changed in the first instance. And let's say, okay, it's repeated itself the second time. The third time shouldn't be a mistake anymore. It's already an habit. So I hope that this has been of great value to you and it has brought a lot of enlightenment for you. Please share it on your wall. Let your friends be aware. Let your friends learn. Let them also gain from this and let them also, so that all of you can grow together. Let it not be only you that is growing. By the time you are growing and they are growing, your journey becomes easier. But when it is only you that is growing, indirectly they start pulling you back, and that is not what you want because you want to grow. Take your friends along. Thank you very much for having me this afternoon. This is me saying bye-bye and have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.